Good morning. Welcome to Friday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. Welcome to Friday. We'll see how today unfolds. The snow is melted, so I'm happy about that. I think it's going to be reasonably warm, unseasonably warm, so whatever little bits are left are probably going to disappear as well. So let us start with the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feels like extra deep breaths are needed today. Good morning, Gwen. You're the first one here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hello, Cindy. Everybody's starting to roll in. Good morning, Barb. Hello, hello. Everybody arriving. This is good. All of our practical rebels. And we have an interesting card today. Haven't seen this deck in a while, so I was kind of excited to see it pop up. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome. So let's just... Native Spirit, Denise Lynn. That is our card deck for today. And we'll see what you think of the card. As I was looking through these cards, good morning, Angie. Glad you're here. Thank you for the sunshine. I appreciate it. And there's some pretty hearts and a rainbow. Fabulous. I think it's supposed to be sunny today. We shall see. But one of the things that I noticed with this card, first of all, they're very pretty cards, very nature-based cards. But the image is something we don't see much anymore. Good morning, CJ. Hello. Glad you're here. Hello, Joe Neal. Welcome. Most of the images that you see now of a polar bear are of the decline of the polar bears. So seeing one healthy was a nice image. Warrior of the heart. Warrior of the heart. And there's one of those words that has connotations, right? Warrior. So I like the wording in the book. So we'll see what you think. But one more nice deep breath in and out. There we go. Warrior of the heart. Card meaning. You have the radiant spirit of a warrior of the light. Be impeccable in all of your actions. No matter what others believe, the Creator always knows the truth. So I think that can be a very helpful thought to keep in your mind these days when there's tons of misinformation and disinformation flying around. The Creator knows the truth. And hold your own truth in your heart. And when there's opportunities where it would be useful and helpful, share your truth. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Impeccable. Yes, it's a good word. Hello, Beth. Glad you're here. Immense courage is filling you. Good morning, Nancy. Hello, hello. Glad you're here. Immense courage is filling you. Throw your shoulders back, so let's do that. I realize how boxy my jacket is today. Good morning, Robin. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Immense courage is filling you. Throw your shoulders back, step forward, and take a risk. And I will suggest to you, good morning, Janine, that most of the risks that we take seem far riskier on the front end than they actually are when we look back on them. Good morning, Mel, which can be helpful then in you navigating into taking that risk. Be willing to live life from your heart rather than your mind, because your mind, again, is meant to be the faithful servant of your heart. The heart is supposed to be driving the bus. Heart and soul drives the bus. Mind sits in the back and sometimes backseat drives. Listen to the heart and soul. Be willing to live life from your heart rather than your mind. How many people get to the end of their lives and look back when they have the opportunity? Because some people don't ever get the opportunity. They have an accident or whatever and they're just gone. When people have the opportunity to look back, they never regret the risks they took, usually. They often regret the risks they didn't take and the time they didn't spend with the people who were important. I was working with a client last night and pointing out to her a part of her history that demonstrated, good morning, Catherine, glad you're here, that demonstrated the regret she had about having poured herself into her jobs. And they were retail jobs. It wasn't like they paid well. It wasn't like she was really appreciated for what she was doing, but she prioritized that over family, and then her mom got cancer and died. And so she has these regrets. And now she's in another period of her life, 10 years later, 15 years later, where the same pattern is kind of repeating in terms of work. It's chewing her up and spitting her out because she's allowing it, and needing to reclaim her life, needing to reclaim her power. It's a contract position. She can dictate what she will and won't do, but she tends not to. She allows herself to be dictated to, which sets her up then to not be living the life she wants to live, but living the life someone else is dictating for her. Not fun. Not fun. Honor your truth. Speak up for yourself. And sometimes, and especially for people who don't have a whole lot of power in their lives, the disenfranchised people, it can be really difficult to do this, really difficult to do this. And sometimes it doesn't pay off, work out, etc. If you're not white and male and middle class and above, it may not work out as well as it would for someone who has those characteristics. We were talking about that last night on a call. And the importance, and that was the overriding theme from the call last night, was the importance of those of us who have speaking on behalf of those who don't have. When people have been disempowered, joining their march for freedom is a really powerful thing those of us who have can do. Your native spirit wants you to know. I'll show you the picture again. There we go. The greatest native warriors weren't the ones who wounded the most people. They were those remarkable beings who had such personal power that enemies laid down their weapons rather than fight. Think about the personal power that there is. I'm thinking in particular of one politician. The personal power that there is when you can work across the aisle and literally communicate and have people listen and be of such impeccable values and morals that people do listen when you have something to say. Does it take a while to cultivate that kind of power? Yes. Is it worth the effort? Yes. So, again, I greatly value people who can work with people who believe very differently than them and still come to some common ground. That is an amazing gift and skill, and we need more of that right now, for sure. There are times in life to step back and even times to walk away. But there are also times to stand up for yourself and those less advantaged. Because what happens is, if we just do the bystander thing, and watch people with less advantage get taken advantage of, pretty soon we get taken advantage of. And pretty soon the next person gets taken advantage of. Somewhere in here we need to speak up. Somewhere in here we need to speak up. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. Don't allow yourself to be limited by your belief system. Fearless means just that. Fear less. Good morning, Linda. Glad you're here. Welcome. Acknowledge that you're frightened and take action anyway. Face your anxiety and go beyond the boundaries of limited perceptions of yourself. And again, does this take some effort? Yes. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. But where do we grow? We grow on that edge of discomfort, right? Many of you have heard my pina colada story, but I'm going to try it out again, just to remind us all, myself included. So there's where we are, and there's where we want to get to. And in between, there's a terror barrier. View it as an abyss, view it as a river to cross, whatever, however it comes to you. But there's a terror barrier there. And we have this guard at the border there that shrieks at us when we're getting too close to stepping into the discomfort of change. For many of us, we have so landed ourselves in our comfort zone. We are squarely in the middle of our comfort zone. We never come anywhere near that edge, that border guard is actually sitting there in flip-flops in the lawn chair with the pina colada. Doesn't have to do any work because we never challenge it. We never challenge it. If we start moseying toward that border, that terror barrier that we need to cross to get to where we want to go, the pina colada goes flying, the flip-flops go flying, and here comes that shrieking border guard saying, no, no, go back, don't do, it's too dangerous, you'll get killed, blah, blah, blah. And when we hear that, many of us assume I must be going the wrong way and turn around and go back to the middle of the comfort zone. On the other hand, if you kind of thank that border guard and say, thanks, but I'm going anyway, take that leap of faith, take that next step in faith, whatever it is, the further you go, the further away you get from that border guard shrieking and hollering, right? So there's more than one way to quiet down that border guard. You can acquiesce and go back to comfortable, stale, old living, or you can go beyond it to where you're wanting to get anyway, and it becomes more quiet then also. So, face your anxiety and go beyond the boundaries of limited perceptions of yourself. Through your example, people find and act on their truth. You're a light bearer for others. So I got this little sticky note on my laptop now that says, stay in the light. Stay in the light, because there's all this provocative stuff out there, whether it's commentary, whether it's misinformation, disinformation, whatever it is, us versus them, all that stuff. Stay in the light. Do not get sucked into that low vibration bullshit. Do not go there. We're all going to have opportunities to practice, aren't we? So here's the journey. Here's what Denise Lynn suggests as a tool to help yourself work with this stuff. List everything that you are afraid of. So I would suggest you take a piece of paper, run a line down the middle. On the left side, you list all the things you're afraid of, big and small. Then next to that list, write every reason why it's important to overcome that fear. In other words, what is this fear costing you? So let's say it's changing your job. What is it costing you? It might be costing you a raise. It might be costing you new coworkers who would be fabulous. It might be costing you a shorter commute. It might be costing you more autonomy in your job. I mean, make the list. Sometimes when you get this gigantic list, yes, stay in the light. Stay in the light. That is what we are doing. When you get this gigantic list, and you look at, okay, so I've got this fear of making a change to my job, but holy cow, look at all the things that might be possible if I'm willing to make that change. It can make it easier to move forward. Then make a list of the various ways that you can overcome that fear. So it might be things like, have you ever done this? I've done this. So being a young adult and thinking about applying for a job in a different company. Well, then I'm going to have to update my resume. And then what if they call and I don't have anything to wear to an interview? And then what if they want, and what if? And pretty soon we don't apply for that job. We talk ourselves out of things much more than we talk ourselves into things. Thank you, Cindy, for putting up the journey. I appreciate that. So don't, again, who's driving the bus here? Heart and soul. If heart and soul is telling you, apply for this job, apply for the job and figure out all the rest of the stuff as you go. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step in faith. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Amazing quote. So don't think your way through this fear stuff, because your thinker will talk you back into the fear, and probably 10 more fears, right? Feel your way through the fear stuff. Okay, my heart and soul is saying do this. And my repetitive thought that I use when I'm doing something like this is don't think, just do it. Don't think, just do it. Don't think, just do it. Now repeat, repeat, repeat. When I'm on my way somewhere that I'm afraid to go to, don't think, just do it. Don't think, just do it. Don't think, just do it. So thank you, Nike, for the second half of that comment. But it's very helpful in getting yourself to be that warrior of the heart. Be the one that lets the heart and soul drive your bus and puts the mind in the back where it belongs. It's along for the ride, but it ain't running the show. It ain't running the show, all right? So what can you do today? Things that you can do to be that warrior of the heart. It might be doing this little exercise, this little journey thing that Cindy just posted for us. That might be what you do today. For me, it's going to be, excuse me, going to my aunt's funeral. Yes, don't think, just do it. And being present with other people's grief. My grief as well. She was 90. She had a good life. But there's still that loss. So, what will you do today to step into your warrior of the heart, to speak your truth kindly and lovingly? That doesn't work for me. Nope, I don't believe that. Okay, so you're saying you believe blah, blah, blah. Would you like to hear what I believe? Again, as neutral as possible. We're practicing our neutrality, right? That doesn't mean that we don't have opinions. It means that we express them in a way that makes it most likely other people can hear it. So, go forth. Enjoy this day. Look for beauty. It's there. Have an awesome Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.